Thanks to everyone who spoke before me. It's a difficult act to follow. I thought I'd be the funniest, but I'm not quite sure anymore. So, for the next 5 minutes or so, I'll do my best to give Ryan the most uncomfortable 5 minutes or so of his life. Something that he'll pass on to Abbi later, although 5 minutes may actually overestimate his stamina. So, I've known Ryan since we're in year 7 at school, which for you old folk is first year. I didn't really know him at first. We kind of got together, like all the outcasts of the year just kind of got together and just formed a group, and that's what we were from then. So, for 15 years I've got to know him pretty well, and for those of the bride's family that don't really know him, I've got some pretty good advice. Never, under any circumstance, let Ryan Harmer date one of your family members. I got a few ground rules for the speech. Firstly, no heckling. Under the rough exterior, I'm a sensitive guy, and I'll probably cry, and you don't want that. Secondly, if you have a mobile phone, iPad, or other tablet, turn it on, use it, keep yourself entertained. If you keep spirits up and expectations low, the next 5 minutes will be ideal. Public speaking isn't really something I've done before. I've done it in front of the lads who I play football with, and it's all a bit more sweary and horrible than what I'm doing now. So I spoke to my dad, he's a pretty knowledgeable guy, and he gave me 2 pieces of advice. Firstly, ABC. Always be confident. I don't think we're going to have a problem. Secondly, XYZ. Examine your zip. I think we're okay. I think we'll be okay. Obviously, today is about 2 people, mainly Ryan and Abbi. Abbi, I've got to know you over the last 3.5 years. Obviously, I sort of lived with you for a while.
I lived with you for a while.
Yeah, you gate crashed it. I am very, very proud of my best mate for marrying someone so amazing, kind, beautiful, and as loving as you. And I genuinely hope that he keeps you as happy as you deserve to be over the next however many years life goes on for. And Ryan, don't fuck it up. I would also like to thank the bridesmaids, through me, on letting us be part of your magical day. The bridesmaids all look lovely today. I look dapper, everyone's a winner. The parents as well, because not only for their help with getting today on and getting today paid for and all the help they've given, but for raising such wonderful people. I mean, Ryan has been my best friend for so long. Brilliant guy when you get to know him. Brilliant Abbi, who I've got to know, obviously brilliant as well, such as Ryan and Tom and Rob have said. So 2 people couldn't be more matched for each other. I'd also like to thank everyone else for just being here. I mean, it's brilliant, like Ryan said, if you hadn't come, it would have been cheaper. But, happy days. It's went a lot more smoothly when I did it by myself. Okay. So Ryan and I, obviously, since Marling have been friends. Before I met him, I didn't think you could base a friendship on a platonic love of football and video games, but it's actually gone pretty damn well. Apart from he's a Newcastle fan. You can't have everything. Over the years, I've gone to him with problems of my own, and he's come to me with problems, and we've helped each other out. I know there's nothing he wouldn't do for me, likewise, there's nothing I wouldn't do for him. In actual fact, we spend a lot of time doing nothing for each other. Over the years, we've had our share of comical moments. I've promised him, for the sake of people that still love him, that I won't go into much detail. There's some horrendous stories. I've kind of given some of them a name, so that maybe later, if you want to, you can buy me a drink and I'll tell you about what was going on at that time. we've got KFC drive-by, the naked Tesco trip, shoot for the moon, the casino racism, wedding in Winstock, and then late night coppers ×2. Kind of twice we got pulled over by police late at night, and the one night Jane actually got rang at 3 in the morning asking for her insurance details. So they weren't sure why Jane's car was driven by a young man. But obviously feel free to harass Ryan later about any of those stories because he loves telling them. In the instance of those stories, most of them are actually my fault. And Ryan has had the patience of a saint to put up with me for all these years. I just don't know how he's managed to do that. Ryan, football is a massive part of his life, for those who don't know. From the youth football he runs on Thursday and Sunday? Yeah. Through to his everyday work at FGR. This man was born for football, literally born for football. I started my life as a rugby player due to my family. And then about 6 years ago, I dislocated my left knee and I wasn't able to do anything. I put on a lot of weight and became a bit of a dick, really. I started living with a family and I was living in their spare bedroom and I didn't care about anything anymore. Ryan rang me and said, look, we all love football, everyone loves football. Let's start a football team. I thought, why not? And he said, by the way, it's going to cost you 500 quid, but let's start a football team. Since then, when we first started, we used to train at Maidenhill School, where there is a concrete pitch covered in syringes and cannabis and dead drug dealers and all kinds of crap. There was 10 of us just kicking a ball and going, this is never going to take off. Nowadays, we offer the opportunity to play football to 100 people. That's women, youth, men. I think that's pretty special. And the only thing that's driven that is Ryan's drive and his vision and his desire to get stuff done when it needs to be done. And I think he can use those desirable attributes just to help provide for Abby's life in the future and just get stuff done when things need to be done. And I know he'll make that happen. Okay, so as best man, I had the unenviable task of planning the stag do, which basically means you have to plan something that everyone wants to do, everyone wants to pay for, at a time when everybody is free. But with one more obstacle. Ryan Harmer has never drunk a drop of alcohol in his life. Not a drop. Since we were 16, 17, house parties, I'm drinking snake bite with vodka dropped in the top, which I think is a crack. He sat there with a can of Sprite. Winning life, basically. So, I planned a weekend up in Birmingham, and it went well, which I didn't think was possible, because Birmingham's a shithole. Basically, on the way up, we had 36 holes of mini golf, which Ryan lost. The deciding game between me and him, and he succumbed to my greatness. We moved on from there. We went and watched France, England in the Six Nations, and I managed to offend a group of French people, and everyone told me to go away, one of those things. We moved on to a casino, had a bite to eat, and then we went clubbing. And Ryan Harmer hates clubbing. Hates clubbing. So for an hour, to keep him amused, I danced by myself on the dance floor at Gatecrasher on, is it Broad Street, the main street in Birmingham? Is that the one? Yeah, Broad Street in Birmingham. I danced by myself, and I started Gatecrasher. People came to me for dancing, mainly tell me to go away. They were happy. After that, things happen that I can't talk about. What goes on tour stays on tour. Fortunately for those interested, we weren't on tour, we were on a stag do. So maybe a couple of pints of Stowford will loosen my vocal cords. And for those involved in the evening, maybe they might tighten them up. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we all had a good weekend. On the way back, we actually stopped in a place called Worcester at Ram Training, and we took part in a zombie boot camp, which was it sounds like the saddest thing going, but literally you get there, a man dressed as an army officer tells you the world's ending, there's zombies trying to kill you, they cover you in talcum powder to decontaminate you, you put on army gear, get given a riot shield, a mask and a baton, and you're put out into the field. We spent 3 hours beating the shit out of people dressed as zombies. Ryan actually just got the shit beaten out of him. My favourite moment from the whole weekend, we were kind of in a training exercise, and the army guy said, right, so are there any stag do's or birthday parties here? So I dragged Ryan to the front and said he's a stag, and then the smallest girl known to mankind said it was her birthday. So like, okay, you two come to the front, here's a mask, here's a baton, here's a shield. This is what you're going to come up against today. And I was stood next to a massive drop-down metal shutter, and someone just started beating it, and I was quite scared, and I'm quite a big guy, I quite like confrontation as well. Next thing, a thing just ran through the door at like 200 miles an hour, grabbed Ryan round the throat, just smacked him to the floor and just started punching him, just continually. He's trying to fight back this little baton, which is just like a fork wrapped in, it's a fork wrapped in, I don't know, some kind of polystyrene, which is going to be no effect. And this girl just stood there like, oh, I'm scared. Army guy, fucking kill him! Kill him! So she extends to get the baton and like prod, just a little bit, which enrages the man further, like, fucking kill him! Go mental. Ryan is on the floor. I thought he was going to kill me. Turns out his thoughts to it were, if that's the worst that's going to happen, we're going to have a good day. So that was the stag do. Okay. I thought I'd do a bit of research onto Westonbirt School. I don't know how many people know that much about the school. It became a school in 1926. It's a private and boarding school for girls. These rooms upstairs are where the girls stay, so I'm told. It was founded by the Martyrs Memorial and Church of England Trust. The grounds are known as Westonbirt Heritage Gardens, and they're Grade 1 listed, as is the Arboretum just down the road. And they were both planted by Robert Holford. The Holfords owned the estate until the school was founded in 1926. And since then, a golf course has been created here. And for those of you interested, the 9 holes, so says the golf course website, takes about 90 minutes. So it's coming up to 10 to 6. I've got a 4-ball booked at 6 o'clock. So we can be done by 7:30, back here for the reception. Who's in? Yeah, a few takers? Yeah. Okay. I looked at online for some, I thought I'd think of some advice for Ryan and Abbi for their married life. But I've never been married, I'm not married, and probably never likely to get married. Unless, of course, Stowford Press turns into a woman. So, naturally, of all things I don't know in life, I just Googled it. Other search engines are available. So here's some of the things I found online. They're quite good. Marriage is a 50-50 partnership, but whoever actually believes that has no knowledge of women or fractions. Apparently, the wedding day is the best day of your life. So for all those married in the room, does that just mean it goes downhill from here? Marriage is not a word, it's a sentence. And losing a wife can be hard, some say impossible. But in all seriousness to you guys, Ryan and Abbi, I hope that from today you continue to love and care and stay best friends for each other. I just wanted you to do something for me, just so I know that you really appreciate today. So I want you to both push your chairs back and stand up. And if you can both turn to face each other, take each other's hands, and just stare into each other's eyes. Alright? It's not funny. Alright? Just go back to when you were saying your vows and when you were all lovey-dovey and Ryan was crying. And I have to say, and I think everyone agree, looking at each other's eyes, they look genuinely happy. But I have to tell you, statistically, you are looking straight into the eyes of the person most likely to kill you. Right, you can sit down. It's almost over. Okay, so Ryan, I have to say, you're a lucky man. You leave here today with a gorgeous bride who's going to treat you well and keep you happy. And Abbi, you're also a lucky girl. You leave here with a nice new dress. Okay, this is the final bit. It gets a bit sloppy now, which isn't really my thing. So I would like for everyone to bear in mind that marriage is not about finding someone you can live with. It's about it's about finding someone that you can't live without. And at this point, I'd like everyone to be upstanding. Apart from you two. I'd like to raise your glass as a toast to Ryan and Abbi. I hope you and everyone have enjoyed your special day, and that Ryan and Abbi, you continue to enjoy the days for the rest of the weekend, the week, the year, the decade, and your life together. May your love be modern enough to serve the times and old-fashioned enough to last the ages. Ladies and gents, I'll give you the new Mr. and Mrs. Harmer, Ryan and Abbi.
That's it.
I'm not sure what happens now.